Hey bro, what you drawing?
Nothing.
Is that your persona?
No.
That's so cool.
Really?
Oh yeah, here's a mine.
Cool.
You wanna draw together?
Super Mario Wonder releases the first brand new side-scrolling Mario title since New Super Mario Bros. U back in 2012. Feel old. I do. To those who weren't around for it, everyone kind of got new fatigue, because those titles popped out every couple of years and they didn't really add anything new, ironically. The biggest leap in my opinion being the multiplayer with New Super Mario Bros. Wii. So when Wonder was shown off, it was such a relief to see new models, new animations, new locales, new characters, just new. Actual new, not new. And I mean, thank God they ditched that title edition because it is awkward to talk about. There is absolutely no denying that this game just oozes charm. There's so many nice little details and animations that aren't necessary, but add so much flavor to the game. Enemies react to your attacks, you can water the poplins at the end of a stage, and there is of course the cute little animation of Prince Florian burrowing into your skull.
Get out of my head! Get out of my head!
This is also the first game in over 20 years with a new voice actor for Mario and Luigi. It's kinda sad to see Charles go, but it's nice to know Nintendo is still taking care of him by making him a Mario ambassador, which from the sounds of it, means he's basically gonna get paid by Nintendo to show up to events and teach the new Mario boy Kevin the ropes. Since it was a change, there was of course dumb outrage, but Kevin does a good job. He had plenty of people fooled before Charles announced his retirement too, so he's clearly doing something right. I love his little
thank you
as Luigi. In Mario Wonder, you jump on chumps, get junk in your trunk, and stop the bad Bowser from brapping all over the Flower Kingdom. He turned into a castle, man. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen. The gameplay of Mario Wonder is pretty straightforward. You run, you jump, you throw, you grow. It's very similar to any other 2D Mario at first glance. The new power-ups in this title are the drill, which lets you ignore the stage and laugh at spiky enemies, the bubbler, which lets you become a bubble-blowing baby and don't think that the enemies don't know how to weed you out, and Elephant the Elephant, which is just Builder Mario who used a trunk instead of a hammer and has a situational water attack that does nothing to most enemies instead of the block builder. But the bigger and better addition to this title are the badges. They allow you to customize your gameplay a little bit. Maybe you want to jump higher, maybe you want to double jump. Maybe you need a handicap mushroom, or maybe you just want to turn the game into Mario Run Adventure Edition, which is what I did despite making the game way harder. This title sports the biggest cast of characters in a 2D Mario to date, even if 7 of them are essentially palette swaps. The Marios, Princesses, and Toads all play identically. Nabbit plays akin to them, but he doesn't take damage. And Yoshi has a unique moveset giving him the flutter jump, ability to devour foes, cart buddies along, but he too is locked into the baby realm for some reason and unable to get hurt or use power-ups. The invulnerable characters can still die from voiding out or getting crushed, but just bump against most baddies. It's really weird that they didn't make the baby mode like a toggle or a badge even, because most of the badges do turn you into other characters, sort of. One of them basically just turns you into Mario 2 Luigi, and even the parachute cap is sorta like Mario 2 Peach, just with a little bit of a verticality nerf. One badge even saves you from pits or lava, so it just seems like a weird design to not just have the baby badge. Cause I don't think it's bad to include that mode for players, especially since this game is very clearly designed for a younger audience. As showcased by the Marvel flowers constantly sporting, that just happened. He's right behind me, isn't he? They fly now? Since the trailer drop, a lot were hoping that you had the option to turn the flowers off, and you kind of can. You can't completely remove them, but you can shut them up and they'll reprimand you for it.
Oh, was it something I said?
Yes. I think one of the reasons they are so annoying to a lot is partially because it's very uncanny to have everyone else doing gibberish talk and then have the flowers go
onward and upward.
They just have such a grocery store voice. Like some friendly fella that's way too talkative when I'm just trying to check out. Even in Mario Sunshine when they spoke English, they had voices, acting. The flower guy is just a guy talking. They do have an option to change their language, and I wish they had a gibberish option, because full disclosure, when I swapped their language and no longer had any idea what they were saying until I read the text, they became a little charming. And even so, I can definitely see kids enjoying them. I wonder If at one point they had considered making the flowers a sort of Miiverse edition, but then they remembered what every Miiverse edition became and said, let's just keep that away from Mario. It's also funny because this title has a sort of Souls-like online. You can see the ghosts of other players from around the world while you play. They can emote and drop standees, but not messages, since they probably figured behind every Peach standee would be amazing chest ahead. In all actuality, the online works a little odd, but kinda cool. When you join a stage, you'll be connected to 4 other people, and if you want, you can hang close to them since if anyone dies, they can interact with other players to revive as if you were playing co-op. It's also possible to share items, and when everyone finishes the stage at the same time, you get a little online point bonus, which are these hearts. I actually had way more fun with this than I thought I would. Something about not being able to communicate with the other players directly makes the little interactions a lot more charming. But hey, maybe that's just the antisocial introvert in me. Unfortunately, there is no actual co-op online. At most, you can make a friend room to make sure that you always see your bud's ghost, and you can race against them on certain stages. I'd probably be more okay with this mode if there was an option to make a public lobby, cause as is, you can only play with people on a friends list, so viewer lobbies are out of the question, cause I am never spending 40 seconds per person just to add them to my Switch friend list. It's 2023, Nintendo. Please stop locking online behind friends lists. The game does have couch co-op, but it's honestly kind of a letdown from the previous titles. There's no collision, meaning no bumps, bounces, or throws. I get why they changed that, but I love the chaotic nature of multiplayer in the new series. Again, it's another thing I wish was like a toggle or something. Instead, the most trolling you can really do in this title is if you finish the stage first, then you get the crown and the camera kind of follows you, and you can just kind of like laugh at your friends as they struggle to stay on screen. The overworld's really nice in this, only sometimes sticking you on a linear path and allowing a lot more pick and choose levels. It frequently offers up little break times, which are generally just tiny little minigames, except the park ones, those ones suck. All of the badges too have multiple challenge stages designed for them exclusively, and there's also stuff like KO arenas with time-based rewards. The levels themselves are great, and I haven't run into anything I've really disliked. Any struggles that I had were because of the speedrun badge. It's nice that the 3 collectible coins in each stage are actually the game's currency instead of just a completionist checklist. You can use the currency to open up spots in the map, or for use in the shop to buy items, badges, or gotcha stands. From a design standpoint too, it's actually very smart that the gimmicks of each stage are generally tied behind the wonder flowers. When you pick them up, all sorts of things can happen, but if you just speedrun through the stage and dodge them, it's just regular old Mario. But like, why would you not pick them up? Because so many of the effects are, well, wonderful. They do have a large variety, whether it's a simple stage morph, making everything a silhouette, going top down, or even making the game Metal Gear.
What was that noise?
None of the wonder effects really overstay their welcome either. A lot are tied to secret exits, but the secret exit and the regular exit both have their own seeds to collect. So you will have to replay a stage to 100%, but again, it's not a huge issue, since the second time you can dodge the wonder and just speedrun. The only other real gripe I have, and this is probably the biggest one, is the boss battles. All the castles just have a Bowser Jr. battle, where he does the same moves but changes the arena a bit. The Koopa Kids were better than this. They at least had a little bit more variety. What is it with these modern side-scrollers just making bad bosses? But ultimately, I think it's because, again, this is designed for wee babs, not cynical old farts such as myself. The game is very easy for the most part, with a few challenging levels as denoted by the 5 stars, but it seriously is just incredibly enjoyable. I already talked about it, but it deserves a lot more attention. The charm of this game, man. I could not stop smiling while playing it. There's just so many amazing details that are wonderful. Characters react to Koopas about to pop out of their shells. Goombas bite you and celebrate. There's actually a few pumps of a falling swim animation before returning to another one. Even getting hit by electricity has its own animation. And all of them are so damn cute. I could keep going, but this would be a much longer video if I just listed off every single animation that I loved. I honestly gotta thank Sonic Superstars, because playing that and then this made me appreciate all these details even more. I think Wonder is a great new 2D Mario, and I'm excited to see where things go from here. I hope every title going forward brings its own uniqueness and they don't just like make Mario Wonder 2. Though I would shell out all of my money to get a Mario Wonder Maker. A lot of the Wonder segments did just kind of remind me of Mario Maker gimmick stages in a good way. If you could just make custom levels designed around some of the Wonder effects, oh, that'd be so good. I had inhaled copium a while ago, joking that a lot of Nintendo games the last few years were kind of lackluster, cause I felt like so much of the focus was going into Tears of the Kingdom. But now that copium has turned to hopium, this title and the upcoming games and their policy of not crunching their workers, it makes me think that Nintendo is gonna have a lot of gems dropping soon. I definitely say that this is like the true Super Mario Bros. 5 type of game, and it's definitely worth... Rosalina's not in it?